December 3rd is just days away, and if you're counting on Social Security, there's crucial information you need to hear right now. The Social Security Administration has just confirmed payment details that could mean a significant deposit heading to your account this week. But here's what most people don't realize. Not everyone receives their benefits on the same day, and the timing depends on specific factors that many retirees completely overlook. We're talking about a confirmed $2,100 payout that's been adjusted based on the latest cost of living calculations. But whether you're actually included in this December 3rd deposit window comes down to your birth date, your benefit type, and when you originally filed for Social Security. Right now, thousands of seniors across America are checking their bank accounts, wondering why their deposit hasn't arrived yet, while others are getting payments they didn't expect. The confusion is real, and the misinformation floating around social media isn't helping anyone. In the next few minutes, I'm going to break down exactly who qualifies for this December 3rd payment, how the new benefit amounts were calculated, and most importantly, what you should do if your deposit doesn't arrive when you expect it. Let me start by addressing something that's probably on your mind right now. Why December 3rd? And why are we talking about a specific $20,000 amount when everyone's Social Security benefit seems to be different? Well, here's the thing that the Social Security Administration doesn't always make crystal clear in their official notices. The payment schedule isn't random, and those amounts aren't just pulled out of thin air. What we're seeing with this December 3rd date is part of a very specific payment calendar that the SSA follows religiously every single month. And understanding this calendar is absolutely essential if you want to know exactly when your money is coming. So let's talk about how this whole system actually works, because once you understand the method behind it, everything else starts to make sense. The Social Security Administration divides beneficiaries into different groups based on when they started receiving benefits and what type of benefits they're getting. If you started receiving Social Security before May 1997, you're in one group, and your payment typically comes on the 3rd of every month, regardless of what day of the week it falls on. This is actually one of the most consistent payment dates in the entire Social Security system. Now, if December 3rd falls on a weekend or a federal holiday, the payment gets moved to the last business day before that date. But since December 3rd this year falls on a Tuesday, we're looking at payments going out exactly on schedule. But here's where it gets interesting. And this is something that trips up a lot of people. If you started receiving benefits after May 1997, your payment date is determined by your birth date, not by the 3rd of the month. The SSA splits these beneficiaries into 4 groups. If you were born between the 1st and the 10th of any month, your payment comes on the 2nd Wednesday of each month. If you were born between the 11th and the 20th, you get paid on the 3rd Wednesday. And if your birthday falls between the 21st and the 31st, your payment arrives on the 4th Wednesday. This system was put in place decades ago to spread out the workload and prevent the system from being overwhelmed by trying to process millions of payments all on the same day. Now, about that $2,100 figure that's been making headlines. This number represents the approximate average benefit amount that many retirees are seeing after the most recent cost of living adjustment, or COA, as it's commonly called. Every year, the Social Security Administration reviews the Consumer Price Index and determines whether benefits need to be increased to keep up with inflation. For 2024, there was a COLA increase that affected virtually every beneficiary. And what we're seeing now in these December payments reflects those adjusted amounts. But here's what's crucial to understand. The $2,100 figure is not a flat amount that everyone receives. Your actual benefit depends on your earnings history throughout your working career, the age at which you claimed benefits, and whether you're receiving retirement benefits, disability benefits, or survivor benefits. Let me break down how the Social Security Administration actually calculates your benefit amount, because this is where a lot of confusion comes in. When you work and pay Social Security taxes throughout your career, the SSA keeps track of your earnings for every year you work. They take your highest 35 years of earnings, adjust those earnings for inflation using something called the average wage index, and then calculate your average indexed monthly earnings. From there, they apply a formula that gives you a higher percentage of replacement, while someone who had high earnings throughout their career might only see Social Security replace 30 or 35% of what they used to make. The timing of when you claim benefits also plays an absolutely massive role in determining your monthly payment amount. You can start claiming Social Security retirement benefits as early as age 62, but if you do that, your benefit gets permanently reduced. The reduction isn't small either. If your full retirement age is 67, which it is for anyone born in 1960 or later, claiming at 62 means you'll receive only 70% of your full benefit amount. That's a 30% reduction that stays with you for the rest of your life. On the flip side, if you delay claiming benefits past your full retirement age, your benefit increases by 8%. For every year, you wait up until age 70. So someone who waits from age 67 to age 70 would see their benefit increase by 24%. That's a huge difference, and it's one of the reasons why two people who had very similar earnings histories can end up with vastly different monthly benefit amounts. Now let's talk about what's actually happening with these December payments and why there's so much attention on this particular deposit date. For people who receive their payments on the 3rd of the month, December 3rd represents their regular monthly payment arriving right on schedule. But what's making this particular payment noteworthy is that it reflects the full annual COA adjustment. And for many beneficiaries, this is when they're really starting to see the impact of that increase in their bank accounts. The cost of living adjustment isn't just added as a flat dollar amount across the board. Instead, it's calculated as a percentage increase applied to each person's individual benefit amount. So, if your benefit was $1,800 before the COLA, and the COLA was 2%, your new benefit would be approximately $1,857. If your benefit was $2,500, that same percentage increase would bring you up to about $2,580. One thing that catches a lot of beneficiaries off guard is that even though there's a COLA increase, their actual deposit amount might not increase by the full percentage because Medicare Part B premiums are typically deducted directly from Social Security benefits. Every year, Medicare premiums can change, and sometimes those premium increases eat into part of the COLA increase. For 2024, the standard Medicare Part B premium is $174.70 per month, but depending on your income level, you might pay more than that due to something called Income-Related Monthly Adjustment Amount, or IRM. Higher income beneficiaries pay surcharges on top of the standard premium, and these surcharges are based on your modified adjusted gross income from 2 years prior. So your 2024 Medicare premiums are based on your 2022 tax return. Let's address another critical aspect that affects whether you're included in this December 3rd payment. If you're receiving Supplemental Security Income, or SSI, your payment schedule is completely different from regular Social Security retirement or disability benefits. SSI payments always come on the 1st of the month, unless the first falls on a weekend or holiday, in which case the payment comes on the last business day of the previous month. This means SSI recipients actually got their December payment at the end of November. The SSI program is needs-based and completely separate from Social Security retirement benefits. Even though both programs are administered by the Social Security Administration, you can actually receive both SSI and Social Security benefits simultaneously if your Social Security benefit is low enough and you meet the income and asset requirements for SSI. Something else that's really important to understand about these payment dates and amounts is how the direct deposit system works and what you should do if your payment doesn't show up when you expect it. The vast majority of Social Security beneficiaries receive their payments through direct deposit, which is not only faster and more secure than paper checks, but it also means you get your money on the exact scheduled payment date. The SSA transmits payment information to financial institutions a few days before the actual payment date, and your bank or credit union will typically post the deposit to your account in the early morning hours of the payment date. Some financial institutions might make the funds available slightly earlier, while others might take until later in the day. But either way, the money should be accessible on the scheduled payment date. If you're still receiving paper checks, which is becoming increasingly rare, you need to understand that the payment schedule works differently. Paper checks are mailed several days before the payment date, and the actual delivery time depends on the postal service. In some areas, you might receive your check on or before the payment date, while in other areas, it might arrive a few days later. This is one of the main reasons the Social Security Administration strongly encourages everyone to switch to direct deposit. Not only is it more reliable and faster, but it also eliminates the risk of stolen or lost checks, and it means you don't have to worry about being away from home when your check arrives. Now, what happens if December 3rd comes and goes and your payment doesn't show up? First, don't panic immediately, because there are several legitimate reasons why a payment might be delayed. If you recently moved and didn't update your address with the Social Security Administration, that could cause issues. If there's been a change in your bank account information and the SSA doesn't have the updated details, your payment could be returned. If there's an issue with your eligibility, or if the SSA needs additional information from you to continue your benefits, they might hold your payment until the matter is resolved. The first step is to check your bank account carefully because sometimes payments post under slightly different names than you might expect, and you want to make sure you're not overlooking the deposit. If you've confirmed that the payment definitely didn't arrive, you should wait at least 3 business days after the scheduled payment date before contacting the Social Security Administration. This waiting period exists because sometimes there are processing delays that resolve themselves within a few days, and the SSA systems need that time to fully process all payments. After 3 business days have passed, you can call the Social Security Administration's toll-free number, which is 1-877-212-1213, and they're available Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. until 7 p.m. When you call, have your Social Security number ready, along with information about your bank account if you use direct deposit, and be prepared to verify your identity by answering several security questions. Understanding your benefit statement is another crucial piece of this puzzle that many beneficiaries overlook. Every year, the Social Security Administration sends you a statement that breaks down exactly how your benefit amount is calculated, what deductions are being taken out, and what your net payment amount should be. This statement is incredibly important because it shows you the gross benefit amount, which is your benefit before any deductions. And then it itemizes every deduction, including Medicare premiums, any federal tax withholding you've elected to have taken out, and any other garnishments or deductions that might apply to your specific situation. By comparing your benefit statement to your actual bank deposits, you can quickly spot any discrepancies and address them before they become bigger problems. Let's talk about some of the less common situations that can affect your December payment. If you're working while receiving Social Security benefits and you're under your full retirement age, there's an earnings limit that applies to you for 2024. If you're under full retirement age for the entire year, you can earn up to $22,320 without any reduction in your benefits. But for every $2 you earn above that limit, the Social Security Administration will withhold $1 in benefits. In the year you reach full retirement age, the earnings limit is higher, currently $59,520, and the withholding rate is more favorable at $1 withheld for every $3 over the limit. Once you reach your full retirement age, there's no earnings limit at all, and you can earn as much as you want without any reduction in your Social Security benefits. If the SSA determines that you've earned too much and they need to withhold some of your benefits, this can affect your monthly payment amounts, and you might see adjustments or missing payments until the situation is reconciled. The $2,100 figure that's being discussed also relates to the maximum benefit amounts that are possible under Social Security. The absolute maximum retirement benefit for someone claiming at full retirement age in 2024 is approximately $3,822 per month. To receive this maximum amount, you would need to have earned the maximum taxable amount subject to Social Security taxes for at least 35 years. And you would need to claim at exactly your full retirement age. Very few people actually receive the maximum benefit because very few people had maximum earnings for that many years. If you delay claiming until age 70, that maximum benefit could go as high as $4,873 per month. On the other end of the spectrum, the minimum benefit depends on your work history. But for someone who worked in low-wage jobs for 30 years or more, the monthly benefit might be as low as $1,000 to $1,500. This wide range is why talking about an average or typical benefit amount can be misleading, because individual circumstances vary so dramatically. A.